Hello, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to film a quick little video because I'm actually filming this on the day I plan to upload it. So quick turnaround. I'm really sorry I didn't get a video up for yesterday, for Sunday. There is no excuse, I've just not been organised enough. I feel like the time between Christmas and New Year's, like, you don't know what weekday it is, you don't know the date, you're constantly eating because your body has just gotten used to eating all the time, and I just lost track of time. There's no excuse for it, but I was like, let me just upload for the next day. So here I am. I hope you guys all had a lovely Christmas. I wanted to do like my 2019 reflections and my 2020 mindset, my 2020 mentality, attitude, my goals, and also I have some very exciting news. I don't know what I'm going to title this video yet, if it's going to be in the title, but stay tuned because I have some exciting news. 2019 was quite a challenging year for me. I feel like from start to finish, from January to now, it's been a few challenges have been presented. I was in my final year last year. Term 2 in your final year, I feel like, is crucial because your dissertation's in full swing, you want to start writing it in second term, you've got to think about revision for your summer exams, it's very stressful. So there was that going on, and then in the end of January I found out I needed a surgery. So I'm not going to go into much detail about that because I documented the whole thing. If you want to know about what that surgery was and my recovery and all of that, I've got videos on it from January, February and March of 2019 up on my channel if you're interested. But it was kind of an urgent surgery. It wasn't life-threatening, but I was at risk of being paralysed and permanent nerve damage because it was a spinal surgery, so it's a very delicate area to operate on. It was just very scary, very stressful particularly because of the time that it was happening. Like, I can't afford to take time off, I've got exams, I've got my dissertation to write, like what the hell. But the uni was so good with me about it, it was so flexible with me, and I ended up deferring my exams until August and getting a 2-week extension on my dissertation. I had my surgery end of March. I had the whole of April to recover really and start on my dissertation, writing it up, and then submitted it in May. And then I had a couple weeks off because I was like, you know, I deserve some time off now. And then I started revising for my August exams. So I didn't really have like a relaxing, nice, detoxing summer, you know, uni's over. I spent my summer revising and being super stressed about that because a lot was riding on these exams. In July, me and my long-term boyfriend broke up, so not great. That was challenging. And that happened 2 weeks before my final year exams, guys. So 2019 has been very horrible to me in terms of timing. I had my exam week in August, and then in beginning of September, I found out I was rejected from my master's because I wanted that to start end of September of 2019. I got rejected, so that was like, oh my god, everything is up in the air. And I feel like a lot of the challenges presented to me in 2019, the struggle was that it was just that feeling of loss of control, like, you know, my health and having to have my operation, it was all just so out of my control. And then not getting into my master's, I just felt like everything was up in the air, and it was my fault, completely my fault, that I didn't have a plan B. I should have done that, but I didn't. So I was kind of like, what the fuck do I do now? I have to find a job. And I feel like in general, anyone who's graduated in 2019, you've had the post-uni blues, post-uni depression, whatever you want to call it. It's just like you get so used to the student lifestyle, you've adapted to that, you've done that for 3 years, and then you're no longer a student. Let me tell you, job hunting, applying for jobs, honestly, it takes the life out of you. It's so boring, it's so long. A lot of my challenges in 2019 were just like very personal things. But in terms of like my friendships and my kind of social connections with people, it was such a good year, because that is truly how I managed everything that came my way. I feel like I managed it very well. I found it? Yeah, can you stop shouting? I'm filming a video.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
So 2019 was great in that sense, and also just in general, when things go wrong in your life, I feel like it always makes you a stronger person. And I feel like especially my health issues and my surgery, it really kind of kept me grounded. It makes you realise how kind of fragile life is and how quickly things can change, especially your health. Since the surgery, I've been a lot healthier because it fixed the problem that I had, and I've been able to be active again, be back in the gym, and it's just made me feel really thankful for that in 2019. Now, the good things that happened in 2019, because I feel like I've really dwelled on the negatives. So I graduated, I got my results in September, and I got a first, which I never expected. I was never aiming for a first until I got my dissertation results in June, and I got a first in that, and I really thought that was the first time in my degree, literally in June of my final year, that I realised I could be capable of getting a first overall. Then I got a job. So obviously I was talking about the job hunting. I applied for so many jobs and I ended up getting one, and it actually starts in January. So I got my first adult job in 2019. I'm going to be starting it in 2020. And then the good news, I got accepted onto a master's. So I'm so relieved. I'm gonna be starting my master's in September of 2020. That means that the uni content will be back in September of 2020. So mark your calendars, because I know you guys missed the uni content and that you loved it. And it was my favourite to film as well. So I'm so excited for that. I just feel like in the past couple of months of 2019, things have finally started to just come together. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. My 2020 attitude, my attitude for 2020, I just want to it sounds so cheesy, but kind of find myself. I just want to come into my own person, be comfortable in my own skin, feel more confident, feel like an independent woman. I say woman because I do want to feel more like an adult in 2020. I just want to find my feet in this world. It sounds so cheesy, but I do feel like once you leave uni, it's kind of the start of being in the real world and being an adult. The vibe for 2020 is just minding my own business, staying in my own lane. I feel like working hard in silence, and then when the results happen, sharing it then. Oversharing, especially personal things, it's just, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. I feel like you have more inner peace when you keep more things to yourself. And I also almost feel like oversharing things almost jinxes it. And I also feel like focusing more on just myself and not comparing myself to other people as much. I feel like you don't realise this as much when like you're happy in a relationship, but when you're single, I don't know if it's just me, but I've really realised how much pressure there is out there, even in films, children's films as well, for people to do things in a certain order, again, in a certain time frame, like get married, have children. It's just like indoctrinated into us, and I'm just like, why is there so much pressure to do that? Like, don't get me wrong, if you have that and that's what you want, I'm happy for you, but like, what if you want to have children before you get married? What if you don't want to get married at all? What if you don't want to have children but you do want to get married? What, you know, and for the pressure for all this to happen in your 20s, I'm like, why? Like, why can't people do things at their own pace? I just want to not compare myself to other people's progress as much and just focus on myself. Some other little goals that I have written these down. is just to take care of myself, eat good so that I can feel good, keep being consistent at the gym. That's obviously been easy for me the past few months because I haven't had a job. Once I'm working 40 hours a week, I'm gonna have to find time for that and make sure I don't let things go. I definitely want to keep going to the gym consistently every week. I'm gonna have to get into a work routine of getting up early. January is training, it's just training. So it's 9 till 5 days a week. But once my actual job starts in February, I have to get to work for 7 AM. That's not wake up at 7 AM. That's not even leave the house at 7 AM. That's get to work. Be ready on the ward for 7. So that's going to be interesting. So I want to, you know, get into that routine. I'm going to have to be getting up very early. And more goals to do with adulting. Obviously, I'm going to have my first ever salary. I want to get a lot better at saving. I've opened a savings account. I did end up getting a Help to Buy ISA. So one of my goals for 2020 is to keep putting money into that. I don't really know what I'm saving for, but I feel like as an adult, you should have savings somewhere. And just be financially independent. I need to learn to drive on the motorway because my master's is in a different city, which will require me to drive on the motorway, which I've never done before, and I am quite a nervous driver. So I need to learn how to drive on the motorway and be confident doing it. And I want to keep up my YouTube, and obviously the uni content's going to be starting in September, which I'm so excited for, as I said. I feel like in general 2020 is just going to be, for me, just working really hard. Like the first 8 months of it, I'm going to be throwing myself into my job, and then the last 4 months of it, it will be the start of my master's. So I just want to work really hard. You know, I don't want to kind of idly go to my job, and you know, I want to give it 100%. This is a job I really want. It's really hands-on experience for what I want to do later in my career. So I really want to give it 100%. I want to learn a lot and just try really hard. So yeah, that's my 2020 goals and updates. Yeah, that is everything for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to smash the thumbs up down below, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video.